Hey everybody, I'm Isaac Anderson here with Studio 67, and I'm here with Fiz, and she's part of a band called Treehouses. And it's a pretty awesome band indeed. Fiz, how are you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. I'm great. Thank you, Isaac.
Oh, no problem. So, real quick, let's start out pretty simple. How did you
Yeah.
personally get started playing music?
Well, man, it's been a while for me. I mean, I started playing music, like music's been a big part of my life for a long time, and I kind of did a lot of stuff just like playing guitar and busking and singing. And then it was kind of Ethan and Tim who started the band Tree Houses, and I knew them for a while, and we worked on a bunch of things together, and then eventually kind of it happened that I joined the band, and at the same time another one of our members joined the band. So kind of it all came together at one special time, which is really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was going to be my next question is how you met the other guys in the band, but it sounds like
Yeah,
it's kind
well,
of continuing friendship.
totally. Yeah, well, I mean, I met Tim through like I just worked with him for one of my part-time jobs, and we became really close. And he kind of introduced me to a lot of the style of music that Treehouses is associated with, which is really cool, and that's become a really important thing to me. Um, yeah, because Treehouses was like literally just Ethan like playing his electric guitar and Tim doing like spoken and a bit of screaming over it, and and then Ethan had this like the great idea to do like a really collaborative release with a bunch of poets and a bunch of other musicians, which is I started to get involved around that time, as well as James, who's our drummer, who also plays violin on a bunch of tracks, and he's another one of the vocalists. So we got involved, and then from there, it's been like us four really like working together and like really having a lot of input from all sides, which is nice.
That's really, really neat. So, were you into kind of the emo spoken word stuff before you started Tree Houses, or was did that come with the territory?
I always feel bad because I totally wasn't, and I always feel like I should have been. Like when I was a kid, I never went through an emo phase, and I always feel like I should have to be in the band. But now like I get it, and my heart's there, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really cool sound. Like, is that a big sound in Australia? And here in the states, you don't hear it as much. But like, I was just curious.
Not really. I mean, it's a pretty unique kind of band. Like the fact that we have like spoken word screaming and then like loads of like vocal hooks and like vocal melodies, I think is a big thing because we have like three of our four members are vocalists, which is pretty unusual for a band. So yeah, even in Australia, I feel like just out of the bands I know, we're a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good different though. It's a very good different.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm into it. Yeah.
I'm into it too. Yeah, I was listening to Roses before I came on. I really like that one.
Totally.
Um,
Yeah, but yeah, that's my favorite.
oh yeah, it's my favorite out of yours too. But so the two songs you kind of got out right now that you're pushing is "Coping" and "Acknowledge Me."
Yeah.
Uh, as far as kind of the writing process of your music, but specifically those two songs, like how does that go? Is it more of a collaboration process, or is it kind of you doing the the words that you're going to sing? Like how does that work?
Something I feel like the way we write music, like Tree Houses as a band, there's something I really appreciate the way we write music. It's something that's really special, and it's kind of different to any of the other projects I've worked in before because it is so collaborative. Um, and that really started like right off the bat because Coping was this like first song that we all worked on together. And the way that we write music, we just sit in the like jam room and Ethan will have like a little guitar thing, and then I'll have a bunch of random words, like just random stuff written. James has got a bunch of melodies in his head, and he'll start like doing a drum beat, and then Tim's got a bunch of spoken stuff already. So we really like jam it out right like together in the moment right there. And often it's a really kind of emotional experience because Treehouses, we always just get really emotional together, which is great. So Coping, especially because that was the first song that we kind of did that for. We just did it in the band room, and there's a lot of I feel like we always have really intense feelings. So when we write, it's quite like an intense process, and it uses up a lot of emotional energy. But yeah, the writing process is amazing. I feel like that's something, one way especially, which as a band we work so well together because we can just sit, and if we have even 3 5-hour periods in a jam room, we can smash out a song and be like, yeah, this is sick, which is really nice.
That's awesome, yeah. I'm just reading some of the lyrics right here. Just from the first 2 lines, it caught me as a listener. It's to the point where I wanted to read what it was. Your feet were blood. He is in the pain in my chest, and my God, I don't want to waste another day thinking of things I used to say. Just those, that grips you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. That's great.
Did you write that line?
Those lines, that's actually, that's a little bit of the vocal melody that I wrote. So I wrote, your feet were blood, here's the pain in my chest, and my God. And then the other little bit of words that you've got, I'm pretty sure some of Tim's spokens that go on after that. But yeah, the your feet were blood bit, yeah, I wrote that.
Yeah. Well, now, if you don't mind telling me, what does that mean? I'm just really curious.
No, totally. It's actually, I've always find this, because the way that I write for Treehouses is I have a random kind of the end of my diary. I just will write random stuff in all the time, so that when I get to jam, I can just open it and start singing something random that I've written. So I wrote that after my best friend and I went to a gig, and it's funny because the kind of feeling of it is really different to the feeling in the song, although it totally fits. But we went to this gig, and we kind of thought it was just going to be a normal night out, and we went to see this Perth band called Pound Negro, and they're an incredible band, really, really cool. And we didn't know that their shows are hectic, they're really, everyone goes crazy. And my best friend was just wearing sandals, and literally by the end of the performance, we walked outside, and she was like, oh, holy crap, my feet are bleeding. So it's actually just a literal thing. And a lot of that song for me deals with the contradictions within relationships. And that was kind of a time in my life, just that moment seemed to really make sense in terms of this other stuff I was thinking about, with how you can really like someone and then be oh, maybe not. And then even sometimes friendships can be really contradictory. So that's kind of what that meant for me.
You just blew me away there. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Now, who knew your friend's pain could be everybody else's pleasure by listening to your music?
She'll be glad. She's just in the next room.
Oh, well, tell her I said hi. Everybody here at Studio 67. We appreciate her suffering for your art.
Oh yeah, I always do. I always chuck something in there.
Your feet were blood.
Of course you're forced to hate, create, but never stop. Too hot, you stood a chance, enhance in line for my mind's eye. Like seen before I mean, but never quite by you or me. But the way I say we're closer to over, not wasting or aching or longing for pain continues. Past the point of knowing or going, you're closer to over to where I belong or long for anything else. I'm screaming and dreaming for answers aren't enough, cause every day you're away, I get alone, drawn down by silence and questions, killing seconds for hours, like lasting life on a knife's edge.
So you guys are from Australia.
Yes.
How is the music scene over there? I know we talked a little bit about kind of like your sound and everything and how it relates to the scene, but like as a scene as a whole, like do you find it's easy to try to get your way up there, or is it a little bit more difficult? Because I don't know if you've ever been to the States, because I mean the scene stuff is difficult here.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably difficult everywhere. Hey. It's funny though, because at the moment, I actually live in Melbourne and the rest of the band lives in Perth. And Melbourne and Perth, they're far away, but they have there's something similar in the way their music scene is. I mean, there's loads of good stuff that comes out of Australia, and I listen to a lot of Australian music, and I love Australian music, and there's so much good stuff, but especially in Perth, which is where the band is all that's kind of where we're based, at least at the moment. It's quite insular, because Perth is quite an insular place, because it's right on the other side of the country. So little groups of people can they'll stick within their own kind of tribe, I guess, and then sometimes it can be hard to break into that. But I mean, you love the scene, even if it's hard. You still love it because there's so much good stuff. You're wow, she's that girl, she's amazing. She's really cool. Even if you're oh, I just want to, play a show with this person. Even if it's hard, you're still wow, this is inspiring. Which is, I think, it's important to see that you can have a hard time making your getting your music heard within a scene, but then you can still really appreciate the quality of the music that's around you in that scene. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And I've never been down there, but I would love to go down there just to see kind of how it is, But as far as kind of influences for the band, and specifically you, what bands really kind of get in your head and really inspire you?
Well, I know because we're actually writing we're like really writing a bunch of new songs at the moment, which is super exciting. So we've been thinking a little bit about that. I know for all of us, just throughout us working together, the band Daughter has always been like a really big influence, like super like washy, and there's something so like grippingly sad about their music. But so that kind of seems to fit in. But me and Ethan especially, we're really obsessed with Big Thief. I love that band so much. Lyrically, that really connects with me.
They're
but
great
I mean,
band,
I feel
yeah.
like we get. They're so good. Oh my god, they're so good. I feel like we get our influences from like kind of all over. Like even like Tim listens to heaps. Tim does the spoken. He listens to like a lot of hip hop. And that's like comes in a little bit now and then, you can hear it. And like James comes especially from more of a pop background, so I feel like he can like help to provide like a little like poppy hooks like throughout songs and stuff, which is really helpful. So I mean, we all listen to a big range of music, really. Just like all kinds of things come in, which I think is pretty normal because like, you know, we're people. You all just, you know, you listen to loads of different music in your life. But yeah, Big Thief right now, I just love that band. Aldous Harding, she's from New Zealand. She's really, really good. That's another person I've been smashing. And then there's like local artists. There's an artist from Perth called Carla Geneve, who's incredible, super Aussie, really great like kind of storyteller in her music. So people from Perth as well are really inspiring, which is great.
That's awesome, yeah. Big Thief actually came by close to where I was. I got to see him about a month ago with the National.
Oh,
it was wonderful.
Oh, with the National?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Nationals, yeah, my like top band, the National. That's my life, just smashing them all the time.
that new album though, Sleep Well Beast.
Yeah.
Real quick, what do you guys got going on as a band right now? You guys planning on putting some stuff out? I know you said a little bit earlier, but more specifically. Yeah.
Totally. So we've just put out these tapes with We're Trying Records, which is based in America, near you guys, which is really, really cool. So they've got Coping and Acknowledge Me on them. They're really like cute little tapes, and I did the artwork for them, and I think it's pretty good. So we've got them, and we're touring Australia in in like 2 weeks, which is insane, with a really like a sweet band from Tasmania called Isla Carr. And then we're touring. We're actually supporting Listener, the band Listener, in like end of September time, which is really exciting. So that's another thing that we've got on our plate. And then maybe towards the start of that next year, we'll be releasing some more, like an album maybe. So hopefully a few more singles will be coming up along the way soon. Yeah, lots of things.
Yeah, awesome. Do you guys record your own music, or do you go to different places to do it?
I mean, for Coping, Acknowledge Me, and Roses, we've basically done it all mostly ourselves. There's a little bit of stuff in there recorded by a friend, but it's mostly Ethan. He does most of the producing of the music, and he's really involved. But in the new stuff we'll be doing, I think we're gonna be doing it at a recording studio, but still with lots of input kind of from all of us the whole time, which is
nice. Sure. And that's a big thing I get from your music. It's just kind of you're not asking anybody else's opinion on it. It's just from your head, and that's it felt so real, and I could really gravitate toward that. And you guys should be very proud of that. But,
Thank you.
Dig out your feelings from the cracks and fractures. Move on, not too quick. Concentrate on insecurities. The appearance of never knowing. Sharpening pain in mind, a future fade. I wish you could see how I'm not coping. Dig out your feelings from the cracks and fractures.
What you wanna say?
Move on, not too quick.
No, we'll hear
Touch no longer comforting.
out again.
Twisting at my words of self-sacrifice.
Sleep another night. No, we'll hear out. Oh, we'll
I wish you could see how I'm not coping.
Real quick before we go,
Yes.
I'm a big movie buff. I love movies. And
Okay.
we actually do a
Yes.
movie show here called Big Bang Cinema that I host. And I'm just curious, do you have a favorite movie?
This is funny. I was actually just like talking about this today with someone. Spirited Away is one of my favorite movies. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. But I really want to rewatch like Baraka and Samsara. I don't know if you know those two films.
I'm not familiar with them, no.
Oh, they're incredible. There's no speaking in it, and it's just like incredible cinematic shots of like nature and people, and with really intense music the whole time. There's no talking, no narrative, but they're incredible. So Baraka and Samsara, there's two different movies, but they're kind of the same kind of thing.
I got to check those out. That sounds really
Yeah,
neat.
they're really good.
Well, Fiz, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you and the rest of your band luck, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Isaac. This has been so much fun.